Hey y'all, welcome back to Reese's Wellness Journey. I am Reese, and today is day 4 of the 28-day Cultivated Walking Challenge. And our theme for today is small starts or small beginnings. And it is the Bible verse that we're going to be talking about tonight is Zechariah, the 4th chapter, 10th verse. And we'll just jump right into it. It says, For whoever had for whoever has let's start all over. For whoever has despised the day of small things, for they shall rejoice. So this is being spoken to people who were rebuilding, not from scratch by choice, but again from loss. So he's talking to the Israelites. They're coming back from exile and they have to rebuild the temple. But the temple is small or smaller than the temple that they had before. And now they're discouraged, probably complaining because it made God ask them, who despised the day of small things? Who told you that this beginning wasn't enough? Who convinced you that small meant insignificant? And so I had to think back, and I'm thinking like, okay, how do I apply that to today or to the walk? So February is all about small beginnings. There is no right or wrong way to walk. There's no length. There's no distance. There's no time. It's just starting. And those small steps, because some people are only walking 5 minutes a day. Some are walking 60 minutes a day. But the ones who are walking 5 minutes, it means something. 5 minutes you didn't do the day before, 5 minutes you didn't do earlier today. So your 5 minutes counts and they'll start adding up if you stay consistent. Because once you start doing 5 minutes, you're like, oh, I did 5 minutes yesterday. Let me see if I can push myself to 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 30, 60, 1 mile. Those steps add up over time if we show up. So despise in the verse doesn't always mean hate. It could be dismissing or minimizing, thinking, oh, all I could do is 5 minutes. That was 5 minutes you couldn't do before. It was 10 minutes you couldn't do before. The small things. Sometimes your despise means you're treating it as if it don't count, and it do count. They add up over time if you show up. So God is addressing the tendencies that we undervalue beginnings because they don't look like the past or may not be the future that we imagined. So I had to put it into perspective of myself. If you've been following me, I changed my YouTube page and I said, oh, I'm going to create a new page because I thought I didn't have a lot of followers on this page. So it made me come back to this page where these are my small beginnings and it's going to take some time. And if I keep showing up every day, then maybe one person will join, maybe two, then maybe three, and then I can have 4 or 5. So it will add up. So we're going to just stay consistent over here because those small things are going to add up and it'll benefit me in the long run. What else? So, let's talk about why God defends the small beginnings is because he does his best work there, which too is one of the reasons why I came back over here. This is my foundation. Our small starts are foundational starts. It's how we get our start. One foot in front of the other, one brick on top of the other. It's our foundation. Those small starts, they look like creation. Creation didn't start with just the world, it started with words. Small start. Faith starts with belief. A small thought turns into a big thing. A skyscraper once was a thought in somebody's brain. Healing starts with honesty. Small start. Consistency starts with showing up once. In order for something to be consistent, you have to start at least once. It adds up over time when you start to be consistent. Small beginnings is where you build trust. Obedience is practiced there because you have to be doing what it is you have to do. You have to be obedient. A business, you have to show up. You have to start when the time on your door says we open at 8 o'clock in the morning. You need to show up at 8 o'clock in the morning if you want to have consistent customers with consistent dollars. So you must be consistently on time. Um, Endurance is grown from small starts. Once we show up once, and we can get a little bit further. Um, so small beginnings is a good place to be. And starting our walk now, we're starting with these small steps. And come June, July, August, some of us will be walking 10 miles. And when I tell somebody that we're going to walk 10 miles on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m., the first thing on their face is, what? 10 miles? I can't walk 10 miles. I can only do 2 miles or 3. Well, come on out and do the 2 or 3. And then you'll start talking to other people and they'll tell you they started with 2 or 3. I would tell you I started with 1, then 2, then 3, 4, and 5. One day in my head, I had a creation that I was going, or a thought that I was going to walk 30 miles. Small thought, big goal, and I achieved it. I walked 30 miles. It took me 9.5 hours. I did it with my cousin, and we had small starts. Neither one of us had ever walked 30 miles a day in our life in one day. But we did it that day because we showed up, we stayed consistent on our steps, we kept moving. Don't quit. That part. And it paid off for us because now I can say I walked 30 miles. Some people can say they did a marathon. I went a little bit beyond. So we got more goals that we want to achieve this year. But that's my personal goal. That doesn't have to be your goal, but that is one of mine, is that I want to do 40 miles in a day this summer. And I'm going to do it. So keep on watching and see how I get there. And I'm just doing it just for my personal goals of walking. It's a challenge for me. But small starts. You started with a mile and you can make it to 30 or 40. So we're going to wrap up. But what looks small often is foundational to God. So he rejoices with the small things, because over time, if we keep doing the small things, they'll become something greater and bigger, and we will rejoice with him. That is all I got. Is it? No. So, yeah. So today's small obedience will become tomorrow's testimony. And so true. If we show up and do what we ask God to do something for us, and then we have to do our part we have to do our part if we want him to do something for us. It's give and take. And at the end of it all, I want to have a good testimony. What feels unimpressive right now will become meaningful later. And that is so true. My small steps after my divorce, which I made a video about that too. So I had small steps. Some days I didn't want to get up. I went to work. I didn't want to, but I went to work. Just getting out of the bed was a challenge, but I did it. I made up my bed because one thing I'm going to do every single morning is make my bed up faithfully. Like we ain't leaving the house without making our bed. Um, I don't know how people not make their bed up before they leave the house. But I did. And I went places by myself. I hadn't done that before. I had never eaten out by myself at a restaurant before I got divorced. And so over time, I went. Now I'm comfortable because I had to learn how to be by myself. Um, though that was a small step for me. And then just over time, I got more comfortable doing it. I got to meet other people. Now it's the small things are very, what I thought was unimpressive. Like, I ain't going to eat by myself. Yes, it's very meaningful to me. Now I can show up and I can talk to people in public. I always could talk, but it's different conversation now. And one of the small things that I had to learn to do was how I talk to myself. And a lot of us need to learn how to talk to ourselves. Um, and you start slowly, like you kind of sound like you're fake, like, oh, I'm a whole vibe. Keep saying it to yourself over and over, and then you're going to become that whole vibe. Um, or whatever it is that you're looking to do, keep telling yourself over and over, and then it'll show up because you'll start to believe it. So, small starts make meaningful outcomes. So, don't judge this season by how small it looks, judge it by how faithful it is if you keep showing up. So, that concludes my talk for today. Um, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave questions or share the video. And I really appreciate you showing up. And I will catch you tomorrow because these are my small starts on my journey this year. All right, catch y'all again. And I thank you. Now the clicker won't click.